all deacons in their churches. I had more Christian influence than I could ever dream of in the Negro League from those black men. And I tell you, I love them today. We still have reunions. They're all in their 80s and 90s now. And we try to get on the road. We try to have reunions together, and and then a lot of those guys have finally been recognized at the National League level for their participation. And you'll read in the book about their, in fact, I wasn't going to write this, but the director for the Center for Negro League Research asked me to write a chapter on my revisit of my reunions, because he went with me and saw the emotional strain it had on me. He said, you need to let the public know about what that was like, going back and seeing your ball players that you haven't seen in so many years. That's the last part of the book, and it's because I want the people to know how much these men still mean to me, and how much I wanted to make sure they're recognized and remembered themselves.
You were a team together. Absolutely. And you're still a team together. Absolutely. And had you not written this book, it may have been wiped off the pages of history.
Well, all our history was dying with every death. You know, somebody asked me, we were at an autograph session not too long ago, a bunch of the Negro League ball players. And we had a little donation bucket there, and as you came through, we'd sign some autographs and whatever you could put in there, fine. And one person came up to me, and someone's always asking you, what are you doing with the money? Someone's always asking about that.
Isn't that something? They do that with Christian television.
I know that. And they walked up to me and said, what are you doing with this money? And I looked them in the eye and I said, it's for our funeral fund. And they couldn't believe that I was telling the truth. They thought I was lying. It is for our funeral fund, because some of these men can't even afford to be buried. And so, and you'll read about two men that I was the person that I gave their eulogy. They wanted me to give their eulogy in their church. And I talk about one of them not having enough money to be buried. And when I walked into the chapel, it was an open casket. We had just recognized him nationally. And on his pillow, sitting next to him, was my Negro League baseball card that I'd presented to him 3 months before and said, God bless you, Concho, I love you so much. And in his will, he asked for that card to go with him.
Wow.
So this Negro League meant a lot to me, too.
Yeah.
It has made me a better man. It's made me a better Christian. And it's given me a platform, because I use this book for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I go wherever the Lord wants me to go to talk to athletes about the color barriers. There shouldn't be any. And then the what ifs. And in fact, my father said there's one other thing you should try to wipe off the face of the earth as a Christian. Never use the word luck.
No.
It's predestination. Yeah. You just hadn't had time to think about it. Yeah. And listen to the signs.
I love the fact that you wrote this book, because some of those guys were just awesome ball players, but they never had the chances.
Well, and when I wrote it, the director for Center for Negro League Research again told me, said, Dick, you understand you're going to be persecuted.
For writing this
by
book?
Both sides. There's going to be whites that call you a liar, that it didn't exist. There's going to be some blacks that are going to look at you and say, how dare him say something like this? He didn't do this. But he says,
well, we got pictures in here.
But if you speak, but he said this, if you speak the truth,
yeah, it'll
set you free.
There's pictures. If you get the book, you have pictures in here. And you know one thing, and there you are, me on the mound, and it shows great, great pictures. I want to tell you, this is going to be a book that is very valuable for you to have and to pass down to your generation. This will be a book that I believe that will go far. I mean, here it is, the only book in the Hall of Fame, and it will be a book that can change your life. It changed your life.
It did.
Being able to play ball in this league.
That's right.
And I just love it. I love this picture on the front of your son.
Yeah, my wife, let me tell you just about one more thing about that. My wife was skeptical about me writing this book at first. And then, she wanted me to tell the story, but she was scared of what's going to happen to me because of the issues of still racial issues out there, Dorothy.
It's amazing. Come on.
I have experienced it at book signings. I've experienced it at, I've had white folks walk up and completely pass me, and when they come back, they say, "Thank you for putting this on." And then the black ball player sitting next to them, next to me, says, "Wait a minute, he's one of us." He is? You know, this type of thing. Or I'll have, on the other reverse good side, I'll have 3 or 4 generations of black families walk up and want a picture with me because they used to watch me pitch. And they're excited about that. But whenever he said this persecution thing, I just simply said, listen, Christ spoke the truth. If you don't want to accept the truth, that's an issue you'll have to live with. And I'm going to use that philosophy.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, he was persecuted.
Absolutely.
And so as long as we're doing what's right in his sight,
absolutely,
if we get persecuted, well, praise God.
Absolutely.
We're right in that same line.
Absolutely.
And we didn't have to die on a cross either.
That's true.
You know, so.
Well, as this goes along, it's getting accepted a little bit more now. My wife, when she got the book, looked in my son's eyes and started crying as a mother, because that's her baby.
Yeah.
Then she scanned through about 20 pages, and there's a picture of me when I was 9 years old. And we look identical.
Identical.
And she bawled. And she looked at me and says, Dick, I get it. This isn't about baseball. This is about what a short life we have on this earth. So let's be about the God's business.
And by the way, you are a scout for the Atlanta Braves.
I'm an associate scout down in San Antonio, Texas. I'm retired military. I didn't know that I'd end up being this way, but I ended up 20 years in the military. I'm an associate professor at San Antonio College. And the Braves called and asked if I'd be a second set of eyes for them down there, and I said absolutely, because Johnny Sain gave me a pitching lesson a long time ago. And he also had an influence on Leo Mazzoni. So yeah, it's great.
Well, I thank you so much. I love having you for a guest, and I know you have enjoyed this guest as well. Get this book. It'll be a blessing to you. Bye-bye.
Dick Lefty O'Neill had a dream of playing Major League Baseball, but it never came. However, today he holds the distinction of being the only white baseball player to pitch for 2 teams in the Negro Leagues. In Dreaming of the Majors, Living in the Bush, Dick O'Neill recounts the journey he took to nurture his dream of playing in the majors, and the people God brought into his life to help shape that dream, and the unexpected twists that came along the way. Enjoy this unique story of journey through the Negro Leagues with Dick Lefty O'Neill. Dreaming of the Majors, Living in the Bush is available for this buy-the-book offer of $14.99. Simply call 888-725-8033. Request offer number 263. That's 888-725-8033. Request offer number 263. Buy the book today. By the Book's Dorothy Spaulding opens her heart in her book, We Walk by Faith, Not by Sight, a story that will connect with every reader, as Dorothy shares her real adventure in faith, walking the cross thousands of miles throughout the United States, for 8 years witnessing and challenging people to be bold witnesses for Jesus. Order your copy by calling 888-725-8033 for just $14.95 plus shipping and handling. Ask for offer number 140.